Hi guys, welcome to the Craft Beer channel. Today is a really exciting day for us. We've come down to Brains to brew our very own beer. We're going to do a black IPA, so we're down at the brewery and I'm here with Bill Dobson.
Hi.
He is the head brewer at Brains. He's going to be looking after us today. We're going to taste some beers, choose a recipe and then go to their craft brewery that they've built and brew ourselves a black IPA. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go taste some beers and we're going to work out what it is that we want to brew. Okay, so it's about 4:30, we're a little bit drunk after the tasting. We've come up with 3 beers which sort of represent what it is that we want to do. We decided we wanted to go for a beer that wasn't too roasty or toasty, something that was quite drinkable but had a good strong hop profile with a layered, slightly complex malt character. So what we've gone with, this is going to demonstrate our malt. This is Point, so tell us about this one.
Yeah, I think that beer surprised me for an American beer. There's not a lot of hop action going on there, but I think in the terms of the malt profile, that was probably as balanced in terms of malt profile between being a dark beer but without a real sort of roast astringency in there.
And this one again, we love the malt on this one, but there's a mouthfeel there that's a little bit lighter, it's a little bit more drinkable perhaps.
Yeah, a little bit more refreshing perhaps, slightly less sweet than the Point beer was more like a strong mild or sort of porter style beer. And then we sort of calibrated the bitterness with a beer that we brewed recently, which is a rye IPA. So I think we're happy with the bitterness level on that. We wanted more hop character.
Yeah, definitely on the nose.
Hop aftertaste, which will get us right on the nose as we stick our nose in it at the start. And on the aftertaste, that'll linger with hop character on the aftertaste. The beer's going to be unique. We're not trying to copy any one of the beers we've just tasted. It was really just to give an example of the style, because the black IPA style beer is quite a broad style. You know, there's a lot of options in there. So we'll do our best tomorrow to try and match up to the expectations.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to do after tasting the beers and picking the kind of beers we're going to aim for, we're looking at the malts, and it was the malt profile of the Point Brewery beer that we really liked. So we found 5 malts. Bill, talk us through them.
Okay, well, the beer is going to be based on, even though we're making a dark beer, the body of the beer is going to be a premium ale malt. So on top of that, then we're going to build a few layers in. You like the sort of the malty, just a typical full-bodied malty flavour in there. So we're going to put some Munich malt in, about 20% Munich malt. And then we're going to build up with 3 layers of coloured malt. So we're going to have the crystal malt. So the crystal malt will give us colour, but it will also give us that caramelly flavour that, combined with some of the darker malt flavours, will give us that balance that we discussed and are looking for. And then we're really going to kick in with some colour from an extra dark crystal. So again, this is deep caramelly, toffee, dark toffee flavours, but also good colour contribution as well. And then we want a black beer. We're doing a black IPA, so we've got to go with a dark malt, and we're going to go with a good old chocolate malt, but not in a huge percentage. It's going to be about 4% of the actual final grist. So that will, combined with the others, that will give us the character that we want. A little bit of roast in there, a little bit of dark sort of toasty flavours in there.
So what happens next? You mix up the amount you want, you grind them?
Yep, so we'll weigh out the individual amounts of the malt and then we grind them. So when we grind the malt, we're going to produce what we call a grist, which is the ground malt. You can see that basically we're crushing the malt to expose the starch. That starch is going to be the
fine powder bit.
Yeah, that white starch that you can see, that starch is basically what we're going to convert into fermentable sugar. But the husk material we need to keep as intact as possible, because in the mash tun that's going to create our mash bed that we basically self-filters the work through to separate it out. And we don't want any of that husk material into the final beer.
Yeah.
We want to leave that behind, so we leave it as intact as possible. It does its job for us, and then it all gets shoveled out at the end, which we'll be doing later on, which I'm sure you'll look forward to.
Yeah.
And it gets fed to. That's why I love having people into breweries, because they do all the hard work. And then that gets fed to cattle.
Oh, right.
It doesn't get wasted. It goes as a nutritious cattle feed as well. Right, we're gonna, if we start next to you here, we've got a good old favourite, we've got Citra here. Real, does what it says on the tin, real powerful lemony citrusy aromas there. Next along is some Amarillo, probably one of my favourite hops. It's more orangey than Citra, okay? We're then going to mix in there with these American hops. We've got some Pacifica, which is a New Zealand hop. Have a look at those. Again, that's citrusy, a little bit more sort of grassy and traditional hop. Summit. So again, another classic American IPA hop. And then we've got Apollo. Apollo is a really powerful hop in terms of bitterness, but it's got some cracking aromas in as well. So we're going to use the Apollo to provide the bitterness in the beer, but also in combination with these as an aroma hop as well.
So we'll hop early with these two for the bitterness.
Yeah, we'll hop early with these two. All 5 will go in at the end of the boil, and then we'll put some more in terms of a very late hop into the fermenter to give it a real hop aroma at the end, which is what we discussed as we wanted in the beer.
We want to sort of really hit you with some hops right at the end, so that you sort of be drinking something that's a little bit porter-esque. And then boom, you remember it's an IPA at the end.